welcome to the employed episode. The absolute peak of shit I played when I was like 9 years old in my parents' garage hunting. I believe it was Jin Morin. I don't remember. You're fucking on these boats with other hunters and you gotta hunt down this fucking giant dragon beluga whale motherfucker. And saying that, but in the sand dunes of I don't know whatever biome in my parents' garage at fucking 9 years old, pre iPhone, peak. So welcome to week, I think it's 32 of Founder Log, and well, what can I say? I'm employed now after essentially a 10-month hiatus of work or from work. I think, but you could argue I haven't been working for maybe a year and a half. Just depends on what point in time I was working, not working, employed, or unemployed, self-employed, whatever. So what can I say? Largest amount of taxes I ever paid last year. Most money I ever made last year. Most money I ever lost this year. Very fun, like the complete inversion. And well, in that time, let's say what, I took my severance buyout, whatever, back in February. Didn't really go into effect until May, and then at that point I was on severance from May through middle of May through essentially the end of September, and that was awesome. Kind of weird how when you're on severance it's hard to find work. Meanwhile, you come back from Japan and you find a job within a month. Fucking crazy. Now, my work's gonna be a bitch, a motherfucker. Matter of fact, 12-hour shifts, 4 days a week at least for the foreseeable future. It's not bad pay, I'll be doing fine. I think the differential that I have because I'm night shift, that puts me up to like pretty much like entry level pay for blue collar work, which is kind of crazy. I'm not the biggest fan of manual labor, but hey, it's work, right? So you don't really tether things to that. At the same time, obviously, I want more. I want white collar work. I want to work in the field of study that I studied, whatever I'm passionate about. But in that time, obviously, I was working on my own gig. I was working on Pareidolia, and now to muted success. And it's infuriating when something you're working on, and along with your personal finances are kind of chaotic. At the same time, being able to stomach the volatility. I mean, I love this shit. I'm comfortable with trading. I'm comfortable with finance. I'm comfortable with investing, retail wise, I suppose. But I think I have this pro-tail kind of viewpoint or mentality, structure, something in between, but somewhat undefinable. Maybe it's my style. So that being said, I'm working on an assembly line. It's tough work, but hey, it gets bills paid, and when you get to the point where you're like, fuck it, I just need cash flow. The work's the work. It's different, right? And there's this weird viewpoint that like seems like certain educated individuals, or I want to say snobbish, but kind of elitist towards things. And I get it. I'm a little elitist here and there. And I think it's very natural too. But, certain attitudes are kind of like, wow, this is kind of asinine. Oh, we're so sophisticated, but then you're so, I don't know, unrefined. Very weird. Very weird dynamics going on. I suppose I'm the same, look at my shit. It's a mess. Here and there. or organized madness is probably the best way to put it. Right? Like, look at your general desk. My thing is like I got stacks of stuff, but somewhat organized with how I function. Um, yeah, I don't get it, but in that environment, you're making good pay. So, aside from that, I'll just jump straight into the business side of things for this month. So, I haven't captured Paradilly's like total bookkeeping so far. I'm doing this to be able to try to sleep as early as possible, even with a destroyed sleep schedule now and a luncheon at noon. Um, I want to capture all my data. I want to punch that in and not have to do it later. Now, that being said, my accountant saved us like 1,500, I believe, for 100. So I'm a happy camper. Um, Great time, especially when you get a fee from the IRS and then forget about it because you're in Japan and you're kind of recovering, trying to fix your sleep schedule, try to pay the penalty, and you have to set up an account to pay the penalty, and it's just like, what a mess. I probably already talked about this, but jumping forward, month goes by, accountant finally reaches out to me, sign a POA, POA, and boom, done. Dropped. So now there's an additional, I wouldn't say windfall, but there's cash in the treasury, assuming the book burns a little more further. At the same time, what would I say? The book, turning the book, right? Assets into cash, cash into assets, assets, and using that to collateralize, try to create some cash flow stream, and so on and so forth. Everything's working. It's just like certain assets, you kind of get rid of them at an undefined point in time, or I wouldn't say unspecified, but like unspecified timeline. Where like maybe I want to try to offload, sell an asset, but obviously I want to be paid for it. Think of it kind of like insurance, but this ain't fucking insurance, baby. So, from here, where do I go? I think I'll still be babysitting my forecast events trading for the company, but it's like I really want to fucking learn how to trade yen and oil, right? Comco to put out the specific product. But I'm pretty. I wouldn't say I'm bad at it, but like I don't have edge trading it. It seems, and I don't know if I should be increasing my sample size per se, or if I should just drop it entirely. I'm more inclined to increase my sample size and try to figure out what the fuck I'm doing wrong. Um, whatever it takes. I want to have multiple fucking cash flowing and streams for the company, whether that be at selling covered calls, whether that be selling puts whenever we get that allowed, authorized, margin added. Interactive brokers is weird. If that's trading Bitcoin forecast events, if that's trading the Nikkei 225 forecast events, if that's trading the S&P forecast event, daily forecast events, or monthly forecast events, and like the world's your oyster, but why the hell is like, and I know my problem's without a doubt sizing at the moment, but when you want to size up, like, it just seems kind of marginal. If your edge is 9%, but you only do 5 trades on, or position size of 5 or 10 or 25, it's someone wanting to build or scale. This is clearly a bottleneck, but I can't figure out how to size up, and it's annoying when you have a system and an assistant system to try to figure out, what am I doing wrong and where can I work on. At the same time, you're like, well, I want to go against what you're being telling me because I'm trying to figure out how to crack this fucking thing. And it feels like a puzzle, you know? And that's about it, really. And then jumping towards like yesterday, on my off, or at least my only, I guess, um, guaranteed 4-day weekend, the internet goes out for 12 hours. I'm up the whole freaking time. And I was not really a happy camper. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck do I do? I went by my DS. I started playing Spectrums of all things. And, it's been a while since I played Spectrums. I don't think I've played that since I was like 12. I couldn't tell you. But, you try to figure things out. It's a puzzle for your own entertainment. I probably should have read, to be honest. I probably should have read. I probably should have done that. But, I feel like when you're doing something manual, you want some type of tactile interface or feedback per se, right? If it feels wrong, it feels right, or you're getting audio that sounds correct or whatever. Um, and it's weird. It's funny. Like I'm not even really nostalgic, but I was like yesterday. I'm like, oh my god, um, why in the why in the world do I have like I'm like on the edge of buying a 3DS just so I can sit on the couch and play something on my, handheld. I do miss that a little, but like not the games. It's just like the um tactile and novel technology. I wouldn't say tactile, but like you're something you're holding. It feels unique, novel. Um, people were like interested or excited about the technology. Now it kind of seems all the same. I don't think it's a problem. It's just I don't know. Maybe it is a problem, and we shouldn't have these certain devs be working. But that aside, kind of all I got for this week. It's been pretty derivative, pretty samey. Um, be very interested in Palantir's earnings. I suppose my employer's earnings as well, but I'm not name dropping them because screw that. Along with the NDAs and confidentiality agreements or whatever. No clue what public I can talk about, so easiest way is just to, you know, outside of talking about stuff at work of said company. So, yeah, that's all I have. Most autistic exit to my episodes ever. Um, wow. Palantrader on Twitter, my Instagram people every other day or every other time I'm posting these on Instagram. Just cause like I'm not throwing up fucking gameplay and commentary on Twitter, not Twitter, Instagram, dude. And then obviously Twitter and subscribe here. Uh, I'll have my Twitter link, whatever, in the description. Thanks for watching, listening. Ring the bell, subscribe if you want. Keep listening to this talking head. Later.